Okay, today we are playing a game on Numbani. We are in the Platinum SR range, and we will be playing Anna, Moira, Orisa, and D.Va. A lot of heroes today. We're a very versatile boy, and that's good to see. I forgot to write the team comp down, and I'm behind schedule, so we're not gonna worry about it. We're just gonna start the game. You can see all you need to know about our team comp right in front of us right now. I should need no further elaboration, to be honest with you. So, we've got to attack Numbani first. We see they've got a Junkrat, so obviously our two dive tanks immediately decide that the perfect way to attack them would be to go up through this doorway into the Junkrat while they're playing two dive tanks, trying to force their way through the narrow choke point. So, you know, that's not really destined for great things. Fortunately, they give up before everybody dies, which is more self-preservation instincts than most people show in that kind of situation. Because most people on Numbani, you notice they decide to go up, and this clearly, very clearly becomes a bad idea because they're trying to push into, like, Junkrat, Symmetra, May, or some shit. But they don't turn around. They just keep going. They've gone up the staircase already, so clearly they have to just keep going that way until the push either works or doesn't, right? Heaven forfend, we back up and try a different doorway. So, Hammond rolls up right here. Unfortunately, we didn't hit him with either the sleep or the bio grenade. The bio grenade probably wouldn't have killed him, but not necessarily the sleep would have done either, but it would have been nice. It would have made Hammond feel a little bit bad, if nothing else. So, Torbjorn is behind us, really low health, but everybody's sort of going in right now at the same time. It looks like Batista took care of it, so don't have to worry about that. Hammond's gone in real fucking hard. Sombra's actually managed to kill Hanzo ahead of this team fight, so that's a good start. But then she immediately dies right afterwards. Hey, look at this. We got the amplification matrix right in front of this doorway. Unfortunately, we end up getting into a fight with Hammond. We kind of sit and wait for this guy at this point. I don't want to do that because the fight's still happening on the point, and we can see that Batista is in critical health right now. And then he immediately dies. So, we did this. We'll never kill this guy unless he really fucks up. And our team have just been fighting on the point right now without a healer, basically. And we've had Nano Boost as well. I don't want to use Nano Boost at this point, because by this point, the team fight's too far gone. Like, we should have just come up here and immediately, like, joined in the fight while Hammond was asleep. We could have just left him sleeping back there and, like, gotten control of the point. And if we've got enough control of the point, Hammond's asleep for 6 seconds. Doesn't matter if he comes up and joins us if we've killed the rest of his team, or are poised to kill the rest of his team by the time he regroups. So, we lost that push. Whatever, we still got 2 minutes left. We've got so many more chances for pushes in here. Let's be realistic. We've got 1 or 2 chances for another fight in here, and that's about what we're likely to get. But hey, that's, you know, 1 or 2 more chances, right? So hey, there's no need to be too sad yet. So Hammond manages to kill Junkrat immediately. We slept that Hammond that time, but he immediately got woken up by Winston. Now, you'll be pleased to know, though, I just heard him use his ultimate behind us. So that's clearly a very efficient use of company resources. Look at all those mines down there. Oh, man, zoning. Oh, look at all that space he's making for the team. Incredible. So they're down 2 people now immediately. So things are starting to go pretty well during this team fight. Our Hammond's put his minefield in a much more convenient location. Like, look at that. Oh, look at that. Suddenly they can't walk onto the point anymore because they don't have anybody really good at clearing the minefield out. Hammond's over here now. Don't manage to get the bio grenade on him, and it might have killed him because he got his shield on him, but he might have just been bursted to death quickly enough if we were a little bit more on it. But doesn't matter. We've captured the point regardless. He was always just going to try and scamper away at that point regardless. The dirty little rat he is. Our Hammond punched their Hammond to death. That's not something you see every day. So, yeah, that's pretty exciting. He does have Korean moon runes. I think those are Korean moon runes in his name. So, hey, that's pretty, yeah. That means we're pretty much destined to win, right? We got the Korean on our team. Anyway, so we've almost got, Nano Boost built up, and things are suddenly going a lot better than they were a little bit ago, weren't they? Isn't it incredible how fast things can turn around? Yeah, that's Korean, right? Korean always does the little, like, circle things in there. I don't know, man. All the moon runes are the same. They're all the same. Anyway, so, now. Enemy team not exactly doing a good job of regrouping. They all seem fairly, spread out right now. Winston and Hammond are real fucking in right now, and we couldn't really see them. We'd have to go up pretty far to actually see them. Life is difficult that way sometimes. So, I just heard Junkrat's tire. Right? Did I? Hold on. Turn the volume up. Did I hear Junkrat's tire? Yeah, I did hear Junkrat's tire. So we don't really need to be, like, as far forward as we are right now. We'd be better off standing, like, in the building to the right of us instead, rather than standing up, like, here on the payload with them. Especially seeing as they are about to use the tire, or they are using the tire right now. Otherwise, I just heard the tire. Either I back up into that room, or I push up to try and stand in the immortality field. So the immortality field will actually save you from Junkrat's tire. You will be, like, you know, you'll be at the boundary on immortality field, but it will save you from ults like the tire and self-destruct. You just won't be particularly happy about your state in life immediately afterwards. Tire ended up not actually accomplishing anything though, so it doesn't matter. Torbjorn dropped his payload all over the payload, so very hazardous for them to approach suddenly. And now we get to try and push the third checkpoint, which is, in my opinion, the hardest point on Numbani to capture. The first checkpoint is also pretty hard, but the third checkpoint is like, if you don't do it in one push, it feels like you have really, like, close to no chance of doing it after that, right? If you lose momentum on this point, God, it's so hard to get going again. So we're pretty fucked. We were gonna be better off, like, running forward to try and, like, line of sight it around the corner on the payload, and we know with hindsight that Batista decided to use the immortality field, so going backwards, as soon as it's coming around the corner, we see it's coming around the corner, we're better off running forward, because there's no way we back up in time as Anna. So we have indeed lost momentum on the third checkpoint, which is very sad for us. You know, I was saying how hard it is to get momentum going again on the third checkpoint. Now we gotta do that. So that's gonna be really fun for us. We still don't really have a great combo for Nano Boost, so we pretty much are just gonna, like, use it on Winston if we don't, like, or Hammond, I guess. If we don't use it to save someone, because there's no combo for us here, really, is there? Don't think it works on Molten Core. If it did work on Molten Core, it'd be kind of overkill, to be honest with you, but I don't think it works with Molten Core. I've never done that much science, to be honest with you. I could try and look it up right now, but that's a little bit much effort for me, to be honest with you. So, Nanoblade is happening over here. Now, Genji couldn't quite figure out that he needed to kill the immortality field first, because, hey, he's like, hey, yo, I've got, like, the strongest ult going in the world right now. I'll kill him through the immortality field. People don't ever want to actually take the time to kill the immortality field. I've seen that happen with Soldier 76 the other day as well. He was just trying to shoot people in the immortality field with his ultimate. Like, I'll out DPS the immortality field, right? No, it's got immortality in the name, bruh. Come on, come on. So we nano boost Batista right there. I would rather nano boost Winston because Batista's at least in the immortality field, right? Like, he's not gonna die in the next little foreseeable bit. Whereas Winston, no such luxury. He's also in their backline right now. So if we nano boost him, he might do some serious damage to them. So I'd rather nano him. Then we, like, push up to stand in the immortality field. The thing is, though, by that point, the immortality field's basically gone. And Genji never actually made any attempt to try and kill us, so we were better off not advancing up, honestly. So we've decided to change to Moira now. And that's fair enough. We're having a little bit of trouble staying alive this game. It's been a very hectic game so far. And Moira is the most resilient main healer, pretty much, so... Here comes Hammond. Look at that. Oh, I thought he was going to get out. How sad. How sad. Oh, well. We'll find another hamster. He went to live on a farm, okay? We'll get you a new hamster for Christmas. Elevator music was playing in my mind, don't worry. So, teams regrouped. We got May now, which is an interesting development. To be honest with you, pretty much, like, probably will fuck with their team pretty bad, honestly. So we're doing a lot of, like, just putting the regen on people. We sleep now. Look at Winston. Do you see how happy Winston was? A little hop for joy right there at the end. Woo! Look at that. We sleep. We're doing a lot of just putting the regen on people, and trying to let that take care of the situation, which is the dream for Moira, pretty much, if you can just let the regen take care of as much as possible. A little bit inefficient, like running up, holding down the left click while we're not in range yet, but the range on left click is, like, so ambiguous, to be honest with you. But slightly inefficient. Hold on, back it up, back it up. Oh yeah, wall that boy off. Don't want any of that. That boy is too far away to really realistically reach. And I'd rather try and focus on keeping Hammond alive right now, because Hammond is, like, more important than he is, but Hammond had the immortality field going, so that was probably, or was near the immortality field, so that was probably more the intent, but I just looked at Torbjorn and I'm like, that boy's too far ahead. I ain't gonna, like, fade up to him or anything. I can't reach him. I'll just worry about the other people instead. So we decide to use Coalescence right here. Unfortunately, like, 3 people push Q all at the same time, pretty much, because we push Q right as Reinhardt pushes Q, and then Zarya pushes Q as well. So things suddenly become a lot worse looking than they were, like, as we pushed the button. I would have used Coalescence there too as well, because it still looked feasible. We could push it this last little bit to the end, but then a bunch of other people pushed Q at the same time, and, you know, sometimes life is really difficult like that. So we're going to use the healing orb right now just to heal ourselves, which is fair enough, because self-preservation is a very important aspect of playing a support. So I like generally what we're doing. We're trying to let the regen take care of as much as possible, and we're doing a good amount of sipping on the enemy team, which is I always like to see, because Moira players are always very afraid to actually sip people. So good, very good. This turns into a met. They're all purple, so there's not actually anything we can do for them right now. By the time they're not purple, he's getting pinned. I give up on that guy at that point. There's no way we actually save him from that pin, because he's so low. We had to heal him so much for it to actually work out. I would have just given up on him and gone back to other things. So we use Coalescence right here. We really wanted to use it to kill the immortality field. I could see it, but we ended up having to use mostly just to heal people, which is, you know, no, we don't want to. We just want to hold it over the bad men, but sometimes you have to use it to heal your team. I know, isn't it depressing to think about that? Sometimes when you're playing Moira, you actually have to heal your teammates instead of damaging the enemy team. And that's just not how I want to live my life, honestly. So now we've entered the Orisa segment. We change... I'm pretty sure we go through all 4 heroes again on this defense round. We definitely changed back to support again partway through this, but I don't remember all the points we switch at. I think we were Orisa for a comparatively short amount of time. So this is where I like to stand as Orisa on this map, but if nobody wants to come up here and stand with you, like, it's significantly less good, sadly. Like, Torbjorn could be up here with us, you know, put his turret up here. That'd be cool, but, you know, he doesn't want to do that, so whatever. So Hammond's down there contesting the point right now. We're just going to hang out up here with Zenyatta. And then, oh god, was that Reinhardt that got all the way over here? Was that right? Because I thought we got bumped by Hammond. No, I heard him start charging behind us. Did we see him go up the staircase at least at some point? Yeah, we see him go over there. So we do never see him again. So, you know, anytime anybody goes over to that staircase, I didn't notice this either at the time, so, yeah, but I'm talking about my own nonsense. That'll be my excuse, okay? In my defense, I'm terrible, okay? So don't worry about it. But I didn't see the guy over there, so don't be too sad about it. But, like, if you see somebody go over to that direction, over the staircase back there, and they never reappear again, and they never appear in the kill feed either, you should be expecting them to come out the hallway behind right here, because there's nowhere else they can be going. You'd see them if they left the staircase, and if they didn't die, they have to be coming around that way, pretty much. But I didn't see him coming. You're the worst Rein I've ever seen. I mean, he just killed both the supports, so hey. What are you gonna say? You know, oh, the Mercy who got pinned is like, you're the worst Reinhardt ever, after getting pinned by the worst Reinhardt ever. You know. Anyway, so they've captured that first checkpoint, very sad. We are going, like, pretty far up right now, because our whole team isn't, like, back with us yet. But they're back here, they're getting here now. We weren't terribly likely to die, so, oh god, ooh, so, it's not exactly good, but we pretty much have to try and cut around the left side of the bus instead, or just, like, go hard right. But I'd rather go around the bus than go, like, hard right, because they're gonna try and follow this, dragon in. And if we go, like, hard right, we're just, like, going into their team, because the barrier won't cover us and they're gonna advance up. I'd rather go back through the bus, because there wasn't gonna be, or around the left-hand side of the bus, because there wasn't gonna be much we did to, stop them right there. And, I just really didn't want to die, if I'm to be perfectly honest with you. I'm rather partial to being alive, so that was my first instinct. Shouldn't you try and sacrifice yourself for your teammates? Fucking slow down, Mother Teresa. I'm not that altruistic. Jesus Christ. So, anyway, they've gotten most of the way. Oh god, we are just not allowed to do what we were doing right there. We were just, like, ambling around in open space, like... They must have just been like, what's Orisa doing? So we changed to D.Va. We might have, we'll assume that we wanted to change off of Orisa, so we were just getting back to the spawn quicker. Otherwise, don't walk out in open space like that. Even if you're playing a tank, and even if you're playing a shield tank, you do still want to think about, like, what other cover you have available to you, particularly as someone like Orisa, who can't, like, freely move around her shield. So if you go and, like, put your shield out in open space and go stand with it, if they break your shield and you've got nothing else you can use as cover, you're pretty hosed until that cooldown comes back up again. Reinhardt, if you're just, like, standing out in open space with no walls near you and they, like, burst your shield down, you're wholly fucked because you're just out in the middle of nowhere. So even if you're playing a shield tank, you do still have to think about, like, what other cover you're going to use in the event that something goes wrong. And think, like, well, if something bad happens, how far do I have to go to get back to safety, pretty much? So, here we're doing the bad again, where we're just slowly trekking around in open space right here. We're playing D.Va, so we're exceptionally easy to hit. We're one of the ult battery tanks right now, up there with Roadhog. Very capable of just feeding the enemy team, like, multiple ultimates. So if you're playing, like, Roadhog or Orisa or D.Va, any tank, really, you have to be aware of, like, how much damage you're letting the enemy team do to you, because you're feeding them ult charge. So, like, us just slowly going like this, there's nothing we can use as cover up here. It's not like we're going to use this little tiny ledge as cover, because D.Va can't crouch in mech. So we're just going to take a lot of damage walking that way, especially when they've got champions, heroes, like Hanzo on their team. Anybody at long range, pretty much. We gotta be real careful, like, how much damage we're just, like, letting the enemy team do to us, because we don't want to feed them ults. So, Hanzo's still alive over there. Things are not exactly going well, and both our healers died by this point. Like, if we were gonna go out, we need to go out, like, now, to be honest, because at least Batista's out there right now, right? So he could maybe heal us. If we're gonna go, like, this is the time to go, but I wouldn't recommend going at all. I just reconcile they've taken that checkpoint. But we wait until Batista's died, so there's just no healer out here anymore. Ooh, very scary, very scary. If you're in this kind of situation, or you're in, like, a fight with, a precision hero, so any of the hit scan heroes, Hanzo as well to an extent, especially someone like Baby D.Va, very small, you want to just, like, spam back and forth, give them a little bit of the crouch uncrouch, because we don't really do a great job of, like, putting the moves on her right here. I don't know what fucking button I pushed right there. We did not do a very good job of putting the moves on her. That's too far. That's too far. Now we gotta find the part of the video again. Are you gonna cut it out? No! No, of course not. That's what a more professional man would do. That's not me. We don't do a very good job of putting the moves on her right now, because we don't really move. Like, we spam it a little too much there, and we just kind of wiggled on the spot. And then kind of like look away from her, start walking off, and she's like, boop. Just like, at least if the payload's behind us, they can't see us behind us, and we can just like focus on Ash instead until maybe somebody arrives to help us. But the real play is just don't go in at all. Our teammates probably made us feel like a little pressured to go in right there. You gotta learn to just like not listen to people pretty much, because people in this game, I don't know if you've noticed, people who play Overwatch are really fucking bad at this game. Myself included. Don't think I'm excluding myself from that. We're all bad, right? We're all fucking bad. But, you gotta learn to just, like, go like, nah. We lost that fight. We lost that point. I'm not gonna come out there and just, like, die with you. Because that's not particularly productive. And sometimes your teammates will be like, what the fuck? Why didn't you try? Because there was like a 1% chance of it working, and I had decided my life was more important, okay? So, Immortality Field down over here. Anna gets dove miles away from the Immortality Field by nano-boosted Winston. There's nothing we do to stop that one. Or we should try and finish that Winston off right there before we worry about this. Because he's so low. We could just, like, focus on him for like an extra half a second and we finish this guy off right here. But we like pivot real hard to try and get the self-destruct in there. No. I'm not interested in doing that right now. I rather kill Winston, because he's just used his bubble. We pushed him away from it. He's so low. Just finish Winston off. Then we can always use self-destruct later. They've still got to push it all the way up the second part of the street right here. Well, like the third part of the street, I suppose, because there's the tunnel, the bend, the other bend, well, the third part of the street. They still got to push it all the way up here. So we got all the time in the world to try and use self-destruct to stall him out right there. We don't have to rush it. We could just kill Winston, play it a little bit cool, and then save self-destruct to stop them more like right around now, right? So that our team can actually like rush out and take part in the fight with us instead. The way the fight was going, like, there's no guarantee we still win, but I think that had a significantly better chance of working than what we actually did. But, hey, you know, things are kind of a fucking mess still, so, oh god. Gotta be real careful not to C9 right now. We C9'd. Yeah, that's, gotta be real careful not to C9 right now. Oh no, we C9'd. Right as I said that. So, they finished with more than a minute left, and we finished in overtime. So, that means we don't get the extension. So, now, we have to defend the first third of this checkpoint for 3.5 minutes. And if we do, we get to draw. Wow, morale's always at an all-time high right around now, isn't it? So we actually have a significantly better team comp now than we have at any other point during the game. If only we could have been like this at other points during the game, right? The game might not have been as close as it is. But, you know, hey, you remember the video yesterday where I was talking about how Torbjorn players are most likely to be the really selfish players who never switch when things are going badly and they just play Torbjorn all game long? Look at that guy. Wow, look at that, the day after I make that video. Isn't that incredible? So, we're all the way back here. This is a great place to stand. Soldiers over here with us. That's the fear, is like if you're over... Oh, fucking hell. If you're over here by yourself as Anna, you're really vulnerable to divers and flankers. Or if you're over here by yourself as anybody, except maybe like McCree or Ash, people who are like pretty good at defending themselves, right? Then you're really vulnerable to the divers, but Soldier's over here with us, so he can, hopefully he wouldn't just, like, fucking abandon us if somebody dives over here, right? Because their play would be just, like, hold your ground and fight Winston off. But hey, you could just fucking annihilate him instead, right? But anyway, very safe over here, very hard to die as long as we aren't just like over here by ourselves. A very optimistic use of the sleep dart, but I respect the attempt. I would have probably tried as well, to be honest. So we're really low right now. We don't really want to stick our face out again. Did Hanzo die? No, he did not die, so yeah. Oh, and there's an arrow there. I think that's the sonic arrow. So we really don't want to poke our face out. Then we poke our face out, but they've started backing up at this point, so it's fine. Very scary, because we are so very low. I just used the bio grenade to... Oh, God. He tried again, but it didn't work this time. I just used the bio grenade to heal myself, like, way earlier than this, because... Either we gotta go try and find Batista to let him heal us, or we gotta use the bio grenade now, because we really just don't want to be walking around at half health. And if we're gonna use the bio grenade to heal ourselves, you want to do it as soon as possible, so that you can actually get the cooldown ticking to use it again. So this boy comes for us right here. Unfortunately... Hey, here's Winston as well. So we drop that on ourselves, but he's been nano boosted, so it's all very scary. Oh, immortality field, great. Now we aren't as scared anymore. Amplification Matrix is not in a particularly convenient location for us to use. Oh, we did it, we did it, we did it. I think the nano boost was a little overkill by that point, because he isn't being threatened by that many people. It's just Sombra, and we've already got the heal grenade on him. We've got the healing boost on him, so he shouldn't die at that point. And the nano boost is a little bit overkill, but there's an argument to be made, hey, it's a really quick charging ultimate, and he was still pretty far up, so he might have still died, just like guarantees he doesn't die, but it was a little overkill. I wouldn't have used the nano by that point. If it was somebody a little bit more threatening, who was right on his face, like Reaper, Torbjorn, Roadhog, another Reinhardt, right? Like somebody a little bit more threatening than Sombra, I would have done it, but just Sombra on top of him? Nah, I'm not that concerned about it. So now we kind of have to tuck in this room over here. We got Torbjorn's turret here with us, and Torbjorn, so we're not exactly by ourselves. Still a little bit scary to tuck into that room. My son, are you going to come up? Yes, he is. Here he is, my son, my shaved son. I've shaved and washed my pussy. So he's not particularly happy these last couple of days. I have to sit up so I actually speak over him. So things have started going very badly very quickly. I was looking at my cat, looking at my pussy. You know how things are. What high quality humor we have round here. We have fun round here. So things started going very badly. They were all like around the corner. Oh, we had to reload at a really bad time. The dragon killed a bunch of people. I don't think we do anything about that one. The most chance we would have had to turn that fight around at the end was a Boyd hamster. The most hope we would have had to change that fight at the very end would have been if we didn't use Nano Boost previously, because then we could have Nano Boosted probably Reinhardt during that fight, and maybe it would have worked out better. Well, I mean, the way that fight went, it couldn't have gone much worse, right? So, but the way that fight went, like, Reinhardt was going to have to do a lot of work while Nano Boosted to actually turn that fight around. Oh, Immortality Field deaths prevent 7 deaths. Ooh, 1,676 damage prevent. I think that's the highest damage prevented I've seen on that card so far. So hey, great job, Nox. So do I have anything overarching to say about that game? Not really. Maybe like cooldowns with Anna, positioning a little bit aggressively on her because she's like way vulnerable, but not really. Nothing like super overarching I think of, honestly. We jumped back and forth between a lot of heroes, so that might have something to do with it, but I can't think of anything overarching from that game. Other than, boy, that was a fucking mess, wasn't it? So, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. Started streaming on Twitch Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 7 PM till 10 or 11 EST, depending on how things go, usually 11 EST. There's a link to the channel in the description below, and if you managed to make it all the way through the video and somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future, and very highbrow humor. And I hope you found the video helpful.